the name Meghan is no longer what it once was. She has become, in a sense, a Diana or a Kate, but that's all in a name. In reality, Meghan Markle could not be more different than the other royal women who have graced the palace walls. Meghan and Harry have been the subject of much controversy as of late, but contrary to what the two ex-royals often complain about, this controversy has been brought on by their very own selves. They abandoned the royal life and reside in the US, where they claim to be looking for a more normal life. But countless interviews and docuseries later, it really has us all wondering, who is Meghan Markle? And is she just a social climber after all? Meghan Markle was born Rachel Meghan Markle in Los Angeles in 1981 to parents Doria Ragland and Thomas Markle Sr. Meghan identifies as mixed race as her mother is Black and her father is Caucasian. Meghan's father is an Emmy Award-winning television lighting director and director of photography. He worked on many successful shows, including General Hospital and Married with Children. Markle was raised in Hollywood, attending schools there and later attending Northwestern University, where she studied theater and international studies. It has been said that Markle actually considered a political career at one point, even interning at the American Embassy in Buenos Aires. Turns out, she did not score high enough on her Foreign Service Officer test to take her career any further with the US State Department. Almost seems ironic, doesn't it? If you can't make it in one country, head to the other. Markle focused on her acting career and began taking on small roles in various series and films. It wasn't until 2011 that Markle finally made her breakthrough debut when she was cast as Rachel Zane in the hit series Suits. 2011 was a big year for Markle, as this was also the year she married American film producer Trevor Engelson. It seems Meghan was never really far from bright lights at all, a stark contrast to the quiet, reserved, and private image she continually portrays in the media. But the baffling thing about Markle and her recent controversies is that the husband and wife talked so much about wanting privacy and normalcy in their lives, yet they continue to invite Oprah and Netflix right into their living room. It's hard to make sense of it all, which brings us to our next point. Is Meghan a social climber? Well, let's start with the definition of a social climber. According to the Oxford Dictionary, a social climber is a person who is eager to gain a higher social status. Most of us would be lying if we didn't say there seemed to be a correlation between Meghan's behavior and this word. Meghan seems to have the repetitious behavior of befriending those in financial, career, and social settings just a tad higher than hers. If you look at her life in a nutshell, it's a steady and then rather fast-paced climb to the tippy top of the social sphere as an actual royal princess. But does this really make some a social climber per se? Or are they just lucky? Let's see what the experts have to say about Markle and her patterns. English journalist and royal biographer Andrew Morton, who has recently written a book about Markle, describes her as a social climber and a great networker. It has even been said that Markle grew up idolizing the royal family, watching videos of Princess Diana's wedding, and even crying when she died. Meghan's half-sister Samantha Grant even confirmed that Markle had a sort of royal obsession. The fact that Meghan went on to actually become one is both idyllic and almost eerie. So, what does the royal fan base have to say about Markle and her involvement with the royal family? Newsweek reports that 65% of Brits are unsympathetic towards Meghan and Harry. This likely has a lot to do with the apparent fact that Markle has no interest in gaining the respect of the British. So why should they respect her? She has made it very clear that she opposes the traditions associated with being a royal, so it is hard to understand why she would ever seek to become one in the first place. Let's take a look at how Markle met the prince she would eventually marry. It has been reported that a mutual friend of the pair set them up to go out on a blind date in July 2016, and the rest was basically history. Meghan was in London for Wimbledon, so the blind date was able to occur. Markle has said that she didn't know much about the royal before meeting him, but past friends and family say otherwise. Remember Markle's noted royal obsession? Yeah, us too. In any case, the two met, and the chemistry was immediate. A second and third date soon happened, and things began moving at the speed of light for the pair. Meghan even accompanied the prince on a trip to Africa only a few weeks after the meeting. Talk about a whirlwind romance. It seems as though all of Markle's dreams came true, rather quickly too. Almost immediately following the formal announcements that the two were dating, Harry addressed the onslaught of attention the two were getting. He made a statement requesting that the waves of abuse and harassment stop. Markle went on to say that just because she was in the entertainment industry did not mean she was accustomed to being in the spotlight. It was apparent from the very beginning that Markle was not cut out for royal life. In November of 2017, the couple announced their engagement amidst tabloid speculation about the unifying event. In photos, Markle sported a 3-stone, 3-carat diamond ring and appeared happier than ever. But that happiness would soon fade. Only a few years following their fairy tale wedding, Buckingham Palace released a statement declaring that Harry and Meghan were no longer working members of the royal family. Meghan and Harry were not shy to release the real truth as to why they decided to cut their ties with the palace walls. They said in interviews and press releases that the royal family was unsupportive when it came to helping them tame the media and their attacks. Harry even said that some family members' offices gave tabloids damning information about himself and his wife. It was clear that the prince felt strongly that his family did not do enough to stop what he deemed to be harassment by the press. But the question that most of us can't help but have is, didn't Markle know exactly what she was getting into when she agreed to marry the prince? And wasn't the prince well versed in how the press works, and somewhat prepared for the brigade that they faced? This is the question that pops up again and again anytime Harry and Meghan broadcast their unease with the media. This leads us to another point. Soon after the ex-royals moved abroad to escape the press and the public eye, they began inviting the cameras in. In 2021, Oprah Winfrey hosted a television special where Meghan and Harry really spilt the beans. They went into detail about almost everything, and most famously, to Meghan's criticism of the monarchy as an institution. The special was even nominated for a 2021 Television Critics Award, a Primetime Emmy Award, and a People's Choice Award. And this wouldn't be the last type of massive exposure the couple would sign up for. In 2022, Netflix released a docuseries called Harry and Meghan, where the couple shares intimate details about their lives and their departure from the royal family. The word irony comes to mind here, and everyone can smell it. Reports have even called it a quest for vengeance. Whatever it is strange and doesn't quite fit the narrative that the ex-royals originally stood by. It doesn't promote normalcy or privacy, and certainly hurts the royal family they departed from. So where does this leave us in our opinion of Meghan Markle? Is she a social climber with ulterior motives after all? While there is no definitive answer to that question, the actions of Markle over the past few years have and continue to speak volumes about her. She said she wanted privacy, yet she does a Netflix docuseries about the most private aspects of her life. Reports surfaced that more than 28 million households tuned into the docuseries in December of 2022. That's a whole lot of no privacy at all, if you ask us. And up the ladder she goes.